thank you for coming to visit me, but you're going back to your grandmother's. That is how it feels like when the president is just watching us. When the president is just watching us demonstrate, and tomorrow create laws that are against. I've been looking at the recent Maandamanos in Kenya, and I just remembered that Maandamano for me didn't start in 2024. Maandamano for me, personally, it started in, I think, 2007, 2008, around there. So at this point, I think I was around 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm not sure, around there. And me and my cousins, there was a tradition for us to be taken home for Christmas holiday, which was something like our parents would literally do casually. Like casually, they would be like, it's December, report to your grandmother's. Crazy. It's so crazy. So that year, we went to my grandmother's, and my grandmother didn't have a help. So my grandmother would literally do cleaning, we'll hire someone to clean our clothes. She will be cleaning the utensils, clean the house, and still cook for us. And we as children, ungrateful brats, were expecting my grandmother to be cooking some of the meals on time. So this is it, yeah. We were around 8 cousins. 2 of them were a bit older than us, and then the remaining of us were the same age. Literally, we are just Gen Zs at the moment. So we go play. My grandfather has this massive big piece of land. May God rest his soul in peace. So we go play in like a far distant piece of land, and which is far away from the homestead. Again, children, we go play. When it's around noon, we are like, guys, hello everybody, gather up. Yes, roll call. Sharon, present. Kush, are you present? Yes. Kurgat, present? Yes. And we roll called, everyone was present, and we're like, to the grandmothers. Now it's time for us to go and tell our grandmother, you know what, we are dying of hunger, and please, can you put the food on the table? So immediately our grandmother places the food on the table. Like, we get to our grandmother says, oh shoot, give me 10-15 minutes, I'll be back with the food. You can go back and play at the field that you're playing from. I don't want the noise around my homestead. No, that's me adding a lot of salt on their conversation. My grandmother will say nothing like that. But he was like, you know what, you children, go back and play. I will be done in 10-15 minutes. Or you can even just play here at the compound. Cool. We gathered up, walked like we're going back to the field. But when we were going back, we were telling ourselves, you know what? This bitch does not know who we are. Oh my God, I called my grandmother a bitch. Guys, this woman does not know who we are. We are children of so and so. And in our home, there is plenty of food in the freezer. We didn't say anything like that though. There's plenty of food in the freezer. I think even by now, my mom is cooking chapati, and we're going to eat chapati. Because the distance between our home and my grandmother's is not that big of a distance, but it's like a 30 minutes, 1 hour walk. Crazy. So when we are going back, me and my other two cousins, we are a bit older than the rest of the guys. We are like, we are going for the walk. Like, gather up. We are going for the walk. And let me tell you, before we continue further, let's move back to the morning before all this drama started. So that morning, before the drama started, our grandmother was a traditional herbalist. So because we are on a holiday, and my grandmother feels like we need to be dewormed, we need to clean our stomach, because we've been eating a lot of junk in the cities. In our homes, our mothers are not feeding us good food. So that day, my grandmother had created a roll call. So 2 days before, 3 people in a group, we divided us into 3. Each group will take the traditional medicine, those ones, miti shamba, a day before. So like group 1 took the previous day, which was group 2, which I was in group 2. The group 2 was the female, and then group 3, which was boys again, would take the next day. But guess what? Group 2, when we were deciding to take this demo, group 2, which I was included, was going for the day, was I'd taken I drank the mitishamba in the morning. This is crazy. So at the time we were walking, on the way, we are like, guys, shoot our stomach. We need to use the bathroom. If you have taken drugs to clean your stomach, you literally know how many times you have to visit the toilet. So we are young children and we tell the boys, hold up. Yesterday you had your turn to use the bathroom as many times as you wanted. Us as girls today need to use the bathroom. Because guess what? We are on the road. So on the road, we decide, you know what, guys? You boys, some of the boys will stand at the back in confirming people are coming from there. As girls, here at the middle, we'll use the middle part to do our duties, our daily duties, because there's no washroom on the road. And other boys will face the other side where we are going to ensure nobody shows up. So yeah, we did like, we had like 4 stops, like we had like 2-3 stops for us to first of all use the bathroom. I'm saying it like that because we had so many stops, but also we had like other 2 stops because some of us were young, like my younger brother, God rest his soul in peace, was also young, and we needed to walk slowly so that he catches up with us. So we are walking, and when we are walking, we are gassing ourselves up. We are never coming back to our grandmothers. She decided that we are going to stay angry. That is not how we are treated in our homes. Food is always on the table. Food is always on full supply. You know what, guys? We were looking so dirty. Yeah, we go to our home. Our mom was at the salon, so she saw us because the salon was next to the roadside. So she saw us and she was like, oh shoot. She was like, she told the salonist, hold on, wait a minute. Is that what I'm seeing? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I insane? And the salonist was like, yeah, you're seeing what you're seeing. And then the salonist called us and told us, you need to get home. So we got home. Let me tell you, the food we thought we were going to be given, like we were going to be ushered in with some champagne, some soda. No. You see that ugali our grandmother had cooked for us? We were ushered in with crazy. Just remembering it is crazy. We were ushered in and my mom was like, what is the quickest thing I can cook for these children? So my mom had cooked herself rice and beans for lunch, and she was like, since you are a big population and I do not have time to wait for rice to cook, let me cook ugali for you so that you know that my ugali and your grandmother's is the same. So they cooked for us ugali. They didn't usher us into the house. Let me tell you, they took sacks of maize, they placed it down on the floor, and they said, sit here. Yeah, they served us food and they said, finish eating, let me go look for you clothes to wear. They looked for all of us clothes. We're around 8 of us. We were showered, like they literally washed us, like they were like, you need to shower. We showered and then we changed our clothes, and then they sat us down and told us, you know what, thank you for coming to visit me, but you're going back to your grandmother's. That is how it feels like when the president is just watching us. When the president is just watching us demonstrate, and tomorrow create laws that are against our willpower. Yeah, one of our cousins who was older was following us behind after he realized we had vanished. So when he walked us now back. This time around we walked more slower. We walked more faster because we had eaten and we had energy. We just realized, you know what? We are going back to where we didn't want to go. We said we are not going back, but we have to go back. That is how it feels like when you're just saying, Ruto must go, Ruto must go. That is how we're feeling like. We're like, Ruto must go. But 2027, when are you coming over? That is how it's feeling like. That is how it was feeling like the way we are saying, Ruto must go, one time. We were literally telling our grandmother, one time. But let me tell you, we went back to our grandmother's house till, that was in December. We went for that demo in December till January, when we were like, they were like, oh, you have to go back to school, and our grandmother's like, adios. But let me tell you, I've literally digressed. Let's go back. So our cousin came for us. We went back to my grandmother's. Let me tell you, hey guys, telling this story is crazy. Let me tell you, that night our grandmother sat us down and told us stories, horror stories. Literally, our grandmother told us of how when she was young, there were giants that used to eat children next to rivers. Let me tell you, it took me like 2 years before I could comfortably walk next to any river, because I would imagine a giant coming and eat my head. And she like told us, like, those days they used to wear sufurias on their heads so that the giants will, like, our grandmother literally scared the living hell out of us. We could literally not even live outside our grandfather's compound and the entire like piece of land. It was crazy. And that reminds me of how every time we demonstrate, the government now feels it's right to threaten us. It feels it's right to threaten us as Gen Zs. Yeah, like literally. We like but this story, I was just reminiscing yesterday, and I just remembered, you know what, I didn't start demonstrating yesterday. It was like long time ago. Crazy. And that story, just when I'm telling this story, just reminds me of high school, when when the principals beat me up because I said I want to become one of the deputies beat me up because I said I want to become a deputy. I hope she gets to see that story. I'll tell, actually, that might probably be the next story I'm telling. I must tell that story. If you want to hear that story of why my deputy beat me up because I'd written on my book I want to become an activist, and she was like, you are the ones who are going to go on the road. Yeah, it is my generation that is going on the road at the moment. Either way, if you liked my story, comment down below and say, you know what, Kush, we love the way you tell your stories. Other than that, I love you. Hi everybody. I'm supposed to say that.